Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations, and I'm here with a flip through of my latest journal, Laugh, or Laughter. Haven't quite decided, I'll figure something out. By the time you see this, it will have a name. Anyway, this was a very challenging journal for me to make because my mother wanted me to make it for a distant relative who recently graduated with a degree in theater with an emphasis in comedy. And what we discussed in the beginning was that we wanted something that was vintage and comedy and theater inspired. And so that was a big part of what inspired the look and feel of this journal overall. I'm going to set, this is the second one. It comes with 2 journals that I made, so it has 120 pages total, which is a lot of journaling space, especially because they're both naked journals. There's no ephemera in them, and there's very little printing in them as well. But let's go over the cover really quickly. So we decided we wanted more of a theater feel, and that is why we went with the red velvet. This is very much what you would see as the curtains for the old theaters would be a red velvet, and I wanted a very retro feel. So we went with the red velvet, and then this is a Tim Holtz book plate, and I have Tim Holtz corners also on this. The cover was really, really red, and I wanted to tone that down a little bit, so I've added lace both on the front and the back, and that brightens it up just a little bit, and I did go ahead and put the corner protectors on the back as well. Then the ephemera that I've glued to the front is kind of what I imagined somebody who was going to the theater might need. These are kinds of different tickets that you might need. These, I lucked out, came right as I was making this journal. I received these all from Mad Fox Studio, met Melissa over there, and these were in part of a package that I received from her as a winning prize. So this is your coat check and hat check and claim check. This is, I believe it is, like, for example, just taking the bus or the railway from San Francisco. And San Francisco has a big theater district as well. And she was going to California, so I loved the idea that this was out in San Francisco, and then an Admit One ticket. And then it just needed something else, so I added that to it as well. And this is one of my reusable book covers. And so what I've done is I had to create my own digital kit, if you will, because we didn't have one. I went and looked out there trying to find comedy kits. Nobody had one. So I went ahead and grabbed a bunch of stuff off the internet, including this pattern, which I got from the Graphics Fairy. So I will post that link below in the description box. In the front and the back I have a pocket so she can stick things as they come along. I had some leftovers, so I just made a tag. She probably won't know what to do with that and just be confused because I don't know that she's ever received a junk journal. So I tried to keep this very plain. This is a how to use a junk journal. This is from Stephanie over at My Porch Prints, and I found this on her blog. So she actually has a blog. I will post a link to that as well. And then I have 2 journals that can be put into this reusable cover. Now this reusable cover, I've used melamine and then covered it and decorated it using my technique that I have, that I use in my monthly journal class. So that is there. And then I found some of these great posters, movie posters, and just added those to this. I use Canva for all of my digital work right now. I'm not at a place yet where I'm brave enough to try to get Photoshop. And I'm really not looking to sell a lot of digital stuff, but I have a few things. So this is Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And this is a Martha Raye, Give Me a Sailor, and Gracie Allen murder case. Then the back is just, I've left plain, so this all looks very continuous and all goes together. Then on the inside, again, I used the same pattern, but this time without any pictures on it. This is filled with Of course, my acid neutralized coffee dyed paper, and again, I will post the links both to how I acid neutralize my coffee, that I use my Hammermill 28-pound copy paper, and that also is acid free. And then I'll also give the technique, I'll also link my video on the technique on how to make this gorgeous marbled coffee dyed paper, and it's seriously a lazy girl hack. You literally just let paper dry, but there's a trick to it. So go ahead and take a look at that if you're interested. And then what I did was I found this AZ Quotes. It already had these made up, so this made my life simple, and I just grabbed a few of these. The secret of staying young is to live honestly, eat slowly, and lie about your age. That is the fabulous Lucille Ball. And then again, these are pretty well just blank. This young lady I wasn't sure would know what a junk journal was, so I don't have any ephemera. I don't have any of my antique papers in here or anything. It's very, very plain and very naked. This is Toady Fields. I've been on a diet for 2 weeks and all I've lost is 2 weeks. I can relate. And as we're coming into the new year, there's a lot of us who are thinking about our health, whether it's to lose weight or get more healthy or get back in shape. This one is Joan Blondell. I don't know what the secret to longevity as an actress is. It's more than talent and beauty. Maybe it's the audience seeing itself in you. And that is a very lovely thing to say, because I believe that is pretty much what comedians do, make fun of themselves. This is just a piece of grosgrain ribbon I've used to hold this in, so this unties at the top, and the next journal can be tied in when this one is filled up. And then I'm just going to slide this over a little bit, and you can see that this is my classic 5-hole pamphlet stitch that I have used, and this is, I love this, is old, it's not yarn, it's, I don't remember what it is. Anyway, it's for crochet, and this was my grandmother's, so I love to use that. I will be sad when I run out. Again, another quote, all the dreamers in all the world are dizzy in the noodle. How's that for a great classic quote from Edie Adams? And then let's see, I have some rather blank spaces, and then this is the classic Gracie Allen classic recipe for roast beef. 1 large roast of beef, 1 small roast of beef. Take the 2 roasts and put them in the oven. When the little one burns, the big one is done. Yeah, that's kind of sort of how I cook, I do confess. And then I have a second one, and this one is a different cover. This one has a Lucille Ball, The Big Street. This one is another Martha Ray, The Farmer's Daughter. And this one is Miss Mabel Normand. Miss Mabel Normand was a comedian at the turn of the 1800s, the late 1800s. And so I didn't realize that women were already doing comedy at that time. And so that was kind of a fun thing I discovered in my research. So, Jane Russell, publicity can be terrible, but only if you don't have any. And then lots of blank pages for her to fill up, to put, because this is acid neutral, she can glue pictures in here, she can put all kinds of her own ephemera in here. This is Mom's Mabley. Love is like playing checkers. You have to know which man to move. And let's double check that I haven't skipped any. Here's the next one. This is by Imogen Coco. The trouble with most comedians who try to do satire is that they are essentially brash, noisy, and indelicate people who have to use a sledgehammer to smash a butterfly. And I think that's kind of true today. We have a lot of very crass, shock-type comedians who don't rely on comedy but more on their language to shock people. Shirley MacLaine, the illusion never really dissipates that you can lose 20 pounds in one night by cutting out dinner. I know that I've certainly felt like that. I've exercised for a day and dieted. Why haven't I lost weight? Madeline Kahn, one of my favorites. Life after death is as improbable as sex after marriage. So I found all of these online at that AZ Quotes place. And Also, if you are interested, again, I will post the link below if you would like to make a set like this for yourself. It is my monthly journal class. However, you don't have to make a monthly journal. These are great journals to have, especially I know that for me, when I spend all that time making a cover, I almost cry when the journal's filled up because I can't use the cover again. And this is just a great way to reuse that cover, and all you have to do is make a new journal to go on the inside. And then you have a lot more flexibility. So if you're interested in that, the link is to that also in the description box. So I hope you've had fun and enjoyed Laughter, my newest journal, and I hope I've inspired you to be creative today.